How would you like someone to steal your idea and make a fortune while you starve to death? Wouldn't that be great? Yeah. No, not at all. In this video, I'm going to show you a simple way a fortune was generated for literally hundreds of people, something you could easily apply to whatever you're selling. Now, if you're in marketing and you don't know this, you have a massive disadvantage. I'm James I. Bond, one of America's leading behavioral management specialists, having worked with some of the most famous people in the world. What I'm about to share with you, I believe, will blow your mind and change how you sell your ideas and products forever. Now, remember inventor Thomas Edison? He stole stuff from Tesla and he got rich while Tesla died broke. Not fun, right? How about this? Kellogg stole something from Post cereals and they got rich while Post had to stop selling the product they invented because no one was buying it. Instead, everyone was buying the Kellogg's product that they stole from Post. At they stole the idea from Post. At Post, they invented an incredible product they called Country Squares. Now, Kellogg stole that idea, came up with a much better name, Pop-Tarts, and made a fortune. In fact, last year, more than 3 billion Pop-Tarts were sold. But for Post, 60 days after they launched Country Squares, they stopped selling the product they invented because everyone was buying Pop-Tarts and no one was interested in Country Squares. Why? Because Kellogg's figured out how to come up with a name that triggers the emotion centers of the brain where decisions are made, something few marketers know how to do. So how did they do it? I'm going to show you in this video. Now, Pop-Tarts uses two psychological brain triggers, sense elevation and anchoring. Here, let me show you how this works. Let's start with sense elevation. Now we have five basic senses: sight, smell, taste, touch, and sound. Okay, when you refer to a sense that few people expect, you have a better chance of grabbing attention and making a sale. Here, let me give you a few examples. For us older people, we remember Plop, Plop, Fizz, Fizz, oh, what a relief it is, selling Alka Seltzer, an effervescent and acid and pain reliever. When your stomach gets upset, Alka Seltzer comes to the rescue. And the ad, Plop, Plop, Fizz, Fizz, oh, what a relief it is, helped turn it into a blockbuster. Okay, how about this? When the people at Kellogg's invented Rice Krispies cereal, they were concerned that it made noise when milk was added to it. The head of Kellogg's recognized how sound could be a powerful way to sell it. So he created the slogan, Snap, Crackle, Pop, Rice Krispies. And that sense elevation helped turn it into a blockbuster. Kurt Cobain, founder of the grunge band Nirvana, an awesome band, created an awesome song that he called Smells Like Teen Spirit. Ugh, what does Teen Spirit smell like? Ugh, a locker room? Smells Like Teen Spirit became a blockbuster. Obviously, it was a great song, but the title also helped. And with the help of sense elevation in its title, it became a blockbuster. Smells Like Teen Spirit. In Southern California, Mike Diamond Plumbing became massively successful with the help of a surprising slogan on his radio ads. Mike Diamond, the smell good plumber. The smell good plumber? Oh, what do other plumbers smell like? Ugh. Okay. But it works. Okay. Smells like Teen Spirit. Okay. It's smell good plumber. I mean, these are terms that really will open up your mind where you go like, whoa, what? How about this? Joint pain reliever, Blue Emu, that helps when you have arthritis and pain in your joints, became a blockbuster with the slogan Blue Emu. It works fast and you won't stink. Okay, and you won't stink. Whoa. Each of these refers to a sense: look, smell, taste, feel, hear, that most people don't expect. And surprisingly, that triggers the emotion centers of the brain where decisions are made. So since Kellogg's product popped out of the toaster, calling it something with the word pop in it activated sense elevation for them. Okay, that's sense elevation. But Pop-Tarts also use something called anchoring, where you take something positive that's already anchored in your prospect's brain, okay, something that's anchored in your prospect's brain positively, and attach whatever you're selling to that. And the result, whenever your prospect hears your anchored product name or slogan, it automatically triggers the positive emotions in their brain, okay? And let me give you some examples of that. When Procter and Gamble launched a dandruff shampoo, they recognized that just about everyone knew the phrase head and shoulders, knees and toes, eyes, ears, mouth and nose. You know, we use with kids, right? Well, so they anchored their shampoo to that and called their shampoo Head and Shoulders, helping it become a blockbuster. When Kemmons Wilson was launching his hotel chain in 1952, he knew that just about everyone back then loved the movie Holiday Inn with famous actors Bing Crosby and Fred Astaire. So he used that name and called his hotels, are you ready? Holiday Inn, helping it turn into a blockbuster chain of hotels. When chef Bobby Flay launched a TV show on the Food Network focusing on grilled foods, he needed a name for the TV show that people would relate to. So he was thinking, okay, I'm focusing on grilled foods. Now, what's another word that sounds like grill? How about girl? So, what's a phrase that works with the word girl? How about boy meets girl? Hmm, boy meets girl. Why don't we call the show Boy Meets Grill? By anchoring the name of the show to that fun phrase, Boy Meets Grill, helped him become a superstar of success. Okay, how about this one? When President Ronald Reagan was asked by the US military to help them launch an advanced missile defense system, he worried. It was just after the Vietnam War where millions of Americans protested against anything having to do with war. But what if they could anchor it to something everyone loved? That could probably really help, you think? Well, guess what movie launched back then that just about everyone loved? Star Wars. So anchoring what he was trying to promote, which is the defense system, to Star Wars, they ended up calling it the Star Wars Missile Defense System, and that turned it into something just about everyone loved, all with the help of the anchoring process. Okay, let's go back to Pop-Tarts back then and how that relates, how anchoring relates to Pop-Tarts. So back then, artist Andy Warhol was incredibly famous with his art called pop art. So anchoring the name of the product to the term pop art by calling it Pop-Tarts added to sense elevation, which we talked about before, pop, helping it become a blockbuster so incredibly successful that even when they ran out of the product early on, which they did because so many people were buying it, and no one would buy Post Country Squares because that name, Pop-Tarts, so resonated with the decision centers of the brain that people literally waited until more Pop-Tarts would show up on grocery store shelves. That's the power of emotional selling, something that could help turn your ordinary products into blockbusters. So let's start with sense elevation and how you could apply this. Is there a sense that you can mention that makes whatever you're selling grab everyone's attention? Okay, how about this? Is there something you could anchor your product or service to that makes people want what you're selling? Try this, and I bet you'll be floored at how much easier it becomes to sell whatever you're trying to promote. Now, remember, if you're in marketing and you don't know this, you have a massive disadvantage. And by the way, these are just 2 of 14 brain triggers that I show off in my blockbuster book, Brain Glue, on Amazon. And you can check it out yourself at yesbrainglue.com if you want to just see some details on what it's all about. Also, if you like this video, I have plenty of other examples on my YouTube channel. Click like, share, and subscribe so you can get access to more of the tools that can help your marketing skyrocket beyond what you ever expected. Enjoy.